to show you how to do an infill panel over a window or a door. Basically, I've set up, let's say for hardiflex, under members I've got hardies, and then I've got 900 wide sheets by 4.5 and 6mm sheets by 900 and 1200. If you go into the sheet, you'll find that I've actually set up the length of the sheets here so that it actually will take off what sheet size you actually require to suit the width of the opening. So if we have a look at this in this little example here with the 1218 window in it, I've actually dropped the window a little bit so that I've got a panel above the window. In this case it is render. So in 2D I'll put a 900 size panel above it. Now I just come to the corner of the building and then just draw across, because basically I need to get to a point that's correct on that side, and you might have difficulty picking a point on the sill where there's actually no end point. Then if you touch it, you can just drag this other end in to be in the correct spot. Okay, so what I've actually done there is, if I go back to this and just bring it across a little bit, picking it on the corner will actually put this 4.5mm wide sheet halfway on the outside of the brick wall. So in elevation it'll look correct because it's just a little forward of the brickwork. So if we go now and have a look at it in elevation, notice it's down on the ground. It's because it actually puts it on the top of the member. So you can, if you know what that height is, then you can actually key it into the command bar down the bottom. But just for the sake of this exercise, if I touch it and right click and go elevate, I can then just type in the distance I need it to elevate up so it sits underneath the eave, and then I can just change the thickness of it from 900 to say let's say 300 and see how that fits. And you can see now my elevation looks correct for the panel. There's two other things you need to do. One is you need to add in some assemblies to this now. Under the quantities, I'm going to add two assemblies. One is the deletion of the brickwork. So it's a rendered situation here, so I'm going to delete some quantities that is behind it. And I've allowed this to happen through adding assemblies, because you might not want to do it on all infill panels if they're small enough or large enough. If they're large enough, then yes, you'll do it so you don't have too much waste. So basically that's going to take out quantities for my common bricks, my render and the labour. And also I want to add carpenter's labour to do the infill panel, so I need to add that, and that'll take off the count. So if you're paying in per infill panel, and also for the length of each one. So I've added those two assemblies to the infill panels, and you can do it all in one hit. So now if I go into the quantities, what I'm going to see is if I come down, there's my carpenter. He's getting one infill panel and 1800 long, and basically my brickwork and my rendering and everything all should be reduced by the amount. I can go and take that assembly out if you just take note of that 1715 bricks. And down here there's the sheet of fibro. So because it's 1806, it's using a 2400 sheet. So basically if you pay attention to this, if I come back to 2D and come in here and just drag it in a touch and go back to the quantities, you will find that that sheet will have changed to a well, it's still 2400, so it must have to come in a bit more than that. So we'll just do it on the other end, but I'm just doing this so that you can see that it will change. And we'll come down here and you can see now that's an 1800 sheet rather than a 2400 sheet, but the elevation might not look as perfect as what it should do. So you just have to be aware of that. So if you want it to be exact overall, because that window is 1810 wide, then you're going to have to put in the sheet. Thank you.